What's going on, everybody? Going over here, and I just wanted to give an update on my little girl here, Lyric, the Pastel 100% Het Clown. She is doing very well 48 hours after her attack. I don't see any spots that are looking infected, and I'm very happy about this. Very cool. Before I continue on, I'll tell you how I ended up getting into snakes, but first a word from my future sponsor. What's going on, everybody? I'm Going Youper. When I'm not making videos for YouTube, I'm eating Swedish fish. Get your Swedish fish today. So I thought I'd put a little commercial in there about Swedish fish. I just love them little red candy fish. Oh. So whoever makes those awesome little fish, you want to send me some free fish to keep mentioning your name, just go right ahead. I have no problem with that. Because I love those little things. Always have. Always been my favorite candy. I'm just hanging out here with my buddy. My little Pastel exanthic, het exanthic I should say. Male. Very friendly little guy. He doesn't like to come out real shy. He likes to stay in his little hide. And he also hasn't eaten for me in 5 weeks. And that's not too strange, especially males at about this age. They're going through some hormonal changes, and he's starting to become a young adult, so he's ready to find himself a woman. So he's going through some changes. Not a weird thing, not a crazy thing, nothing to be concerned about. I would like him to start eating because I have to get some more weight on him, but he's still looking really healthy, no skinniness, no sunken in spots. So there's still nothing to worry about. And they can go a really long time without eating. Some males can go, 5-6 months, no problem, without wanting to eat anything. Just how it is sometimes. I hope that isn't the case with this guy. But that's how it goes. So anyway, I just want to tell you real quick how I got into snakes. When I was younger, believe it or not, Going Youper was in Boy Scouts. And during the summer, I would go and I would help them build a camp that they were building for the Boy Scouts. And Camp Miles in, I believe it's still in Charlotte County. I'm not really sure, Florida. But every summer I'd go out there and I'd help them build different buildings and build different things just to get it ready to go. And also every year, I get in trouble for this then, but this is so many years ago, I don't think they're going to come after me for it. But I would hunt around and collect different snakes that I would find. And believe it or not, a hot spot for snakes during the summertime, the best place to find them in the summertime out of the scout camp anyway, was in the bathroom, in the back tank part of a toilet. No joke. I would lift the tank part off the toilet, and there would be a snake sitting inside of there in the nice cool water, hanging out. And I'd pull them out of there and bring them home. And I would collect a bunch of different rat snakes. Red rat snakes, yellow rats. I had 2 big rat snakes. I had a big red one named, the big red one was Ernie, and I had a big yellow one that was named Bert. So I had Bert and Ernie. And they were pretty cool, but also they were my escape artist snakes. Those are the ones that, once, twice a week they would escape. Be gone for a week or 2 at a time, and then I'd find them one morning out there just hanging out in the middle of the floor. And this is way before any rack system. I just had them in a big aquarium tank with a bunch of bricks on the lid. So I think Youper would have learned his lesson, but sometimes you just slip up. But as you can see, my little Pastel Het Clown girl is doing really well. I didn't get much sleep the last couple of days. Even last night I didn't get much sleep. But she's doing so much better that I think I'm out of the worry zone anymore. I don't think I have to worry about her anymore. I think she's going to be just fine. So thank you all for your well wishes and everything, man. You guys are great. I appreciate it. So yeah, I started collecting these snakes, and then I met a guy named David Weathers. Some of you may have heard of him before. He deals a lot with cobras and a lot of different rattlesnakes, a lot of different snakes down in Florida. He's been seen on Rescue 911 where he got bit in the stomach by a cobra, and he was also on some I think it was some Jackass episodes where they went to the Serpentarium there in North Fort Myers, South Charlotte County, where he took care of a lot of reptiles and stuff like that. I'm not even sure the name of that. I just called it the Serpentarium. But I would bring these rat snakes to him, and I would sell these rat snakes to him for like $20 a piece, you know. And so that's how I first got in the snake business. But yeah, I had a lot of fun down there in Florida. When I worked at, I drove a barge and put in concrete docks for a place called Charlotte County Seawalls, and we'd do these docks out in the middle of some crazy area where there wasn't a lot of development, but there was a lot of canals, canalways, and stuff like that, and people would want docks built at their house before they put their house in. So we would go out there first, and we would, you know, put a dock in so that it wouldn't have to carry a bunch of lumber around a nice lawn or a nice yard that somebody put in. It's just easier to do that in new construction. And when we get to these places, there would be rattlesnakes every single time we got out there. And I worked with a guy, his name was Dave, big, giant, black guy, nicest guy. All the people I worked with there were really awesome. But this guy was just like a giant teddy bear, the sweetest guy you'd ever meet. He was a boxer also. If he would have went pro, he would have had the longest reach in boxing. I mean, I think he was 6'6", big, muscly guy, and the heart of a Care Bear. I mean, he was just like the nicest guy. But everybody at Charlotte County Seawalls was definitely afraid of snakes, which I never really understood because I've shared the water with gators, I've shared the water with manatees, I've shared the water with poisonous snakes like water moccasins, but I was the snake guy. So sometimes I would literally have to leave my job, and you know, I usually drove the barges from point A to point B, and somebody would have to come pick me up so that I could go all the way across county to another job site just to get rid of a rattlesnake or remove a snake from areas so these guys could work water moccasins and stuff like that. And so I'd have to go out there and remove these things. And you know, everybody else would just want to kill them with a shovel or something like that, and I'd be like, no, don't do that. Or I will go get them. I will move them safely to another place. So I grabbed my 5-gallon bucket and a hook that one of the shop guys made me. I wish I still had that hook too. I could use it for other things. But one of the shop guys made me a hook as kind of like a joke. Like, here, man, I know you're always going out and grabbing these snakes for everybody, so I figured I'd give you a hook so you didn't have to do it with a bushy stick. But, yeah, so I've always kind of messed around with snakes a lot, you know. And being up here in the UP of Michigan, we don't have any poisonous snakes. None. I think the only poisonous creature up in the UP that you may run across, I have not seen one yet, is a brown licou spider. I actually been bit by one of those before. That'll be a story for another time. But yeah, I've always messed with snakes, and I do plan on working with rattlesnakes maybe in the next 5 years or so. The problem is I have to get I got to get some hours in with somebody training with them in order to receive a license, and I'm having kind of a hard time finding a person. And I want to thank Optimus Reptiles for his helpful hints about how I can find somebody and start working on that. I also worked with a friend of mine named David Sexton. He used to be out of here in Menominee, actually. I met him a little over 20 years ago when I first met my wife. And, sorry, a little under 20 years ago when I first met my wife. And he bred monocle cobras and stuff like that, and I would help him out with stuff like that and mess around and, you know, learned a lot from these guys. So, yeah, so I've always kind of been into snakes. And, just something I really enjoy. Very relaxing. Kind of like a fish tank. I find fish tanks very relaxing. And the other day, by the way, I said there's no other animal that is better than snakes than escaping. And that's a lie. There is another animal that is a genius when it comes to escaping their enclosures, I should say. And that's the octopus. I was talking to AEP the other night about this. But yeah, octopus, very hard to keep in a tank. Very hard. You got to tape every little hose and connection that goes into it all the time. I mean, they are amazing. They will fit inside little filter tubes. Man, those things are amazing. They can get out of anything. They'll go right up a filter tube somehow. I don't even know how they do it. And they'll stop the fan in there, crawl right past it, and you know, and get out. They're good at getting out of things too. So I do want to correct myself on that. But yeah, I just want to give a quick video, a little update, a little funny commercial I stuck in there, and hang out with my boy here because I haven't really messed with him in a while. And I'm really lucky. All my snakes are really nice. Just really good snakes. And I just find them very relaxing, very enjoying, very neat, very cool. So let's see if we can steer him in the right direction. There you go, brother. And I want to thank each and every one of you for watching my videos, each and every one of you for the support you give me, and I will continue to support you and work hard to answer any questions you all might have. I've noticed I have a lot of people, even on other people's videos, they're asking me a lot of questions about this, that, and the other. I usually always research everything, so if I give you an answer on something, you can pretty much bet that it's close to being spot on. I'm only human, so I'm not perfect, but usually if I don't know something, I won't say it, or I'll go and research it before I try and answer it. And sometimes even when I know the answer to things, I still go and research it just to make sure, because sometimes people try to be helpful and answer a question for people, and it ends up being something that isn't really correct, and it can end up hurting that person. So I'm really big on making sure that I know what I'm saying. And again, I throw the loophole in there that I make mistakes too. They do happen, as we all know. My old girl there. But yeah, thank you all for watching my videos. I love you so much. If you like my videos, hit that like button. Hit that little notification bell. I never say this, but hit the little notification bell so you know when I upload a video. And I will always try to reply to every single one of your all's comments, and I always try to leave a like and a comment on your videos as well, because of the support that you give me. I want to make sure I give back 100%, and I got the best family on YouTube, and I love each and every one of you, and as always, see me bye.